following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Victory Monday right here.
Yes, sir.
What is going on?
Victory Monday, baby. What you saying, Newy? Victory Monday.
I mean, you're going to have a non-sponsored cut.
I put it down underneath.
All up
I had to make sure. I forgot about the sponsors.
We've been staying in the studio for a full 15 minutes. You go ahead and get your...
I had to get that last droplet out.
You want to start the show now, Church?
We good. We good to go, baby. Let's go.
Do I really need a reset? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Replay the intro. Go ahead. Let's start again. Cut.
No.
Like James Brown. Like James Brown. James Brown, find you.
I'm going to die. Hey, maybe Starbucks should sponsor.
Like James Brown would look at...
Whoa. I got no.
Whoa, you did not say that.
Yeah, you best to be careful.
We might need to get an extra one. We can't get an extra one.
No, you can't have two.
Oh, you can't have
two.
Okay, my bad. Hotels.com.
They pay too much money to share that space.
This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. He's Barry Church.
Yes, sir.
He's doing his own thing. But welcome to the show, B. Danny McCray, the ultimate survivor. I'm Newy Scruggs. Okay, we've got a whole lot to chop up here. All of us on a Victory Monday came through. Going back, looking at the predictions. Danny, you had a 34-20 win by the Cowboys. They win 36-28. Mm-hmm. Barry, you had it in a close game. You thought Dallas by 3, 17-14. And I had it 31-24. So all of us are winners. Cowboys cover 4.5. Cowboys in a battle against a first-place team.
Do I get the closest?
No, I knew he got the closest. All right.
8 under. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
so Church was in last with us scoring 17.
Right. I'm right.
How many points? How many points did you say was going to score?
Man,
I said it was going to be 17-4. We're going to win by 3.
I'm saying you said we were only going to score 17 points.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a tight one.
Because you thought their defense was what they were.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be what it was, but it wasn't.
Y'all got to stop. But we did this against Tampa. Now we did this against Carolina. Y'all got to stop with this. I think that this defense is good. Tampa Bay supposed to be good based off what they did last year. Carolina supposed to be good because they, what they did to 30 for 30 Jameis. What they did, it don't make no sense. Okay, nobody's holding us to 17 points.
Hey, you might be right about that. But
we were
you was
all right.
wrong today.
We were all right. We were all right.
We was all right though.
We were all right.
We were all right, but I wasn't in last though.
Yeah, you had 3 points.
But you had 14.
Yeah,
you was over.
Nah, he was
anyway, let's get back to
it. Bottom line, at the end of the day, they won.
That's it.
And for me, the thing for me, let's get everybody's just initial takeaway from the game, is this defense is doing this without Tank Lawrence. No Dorrance Armstrong yesterday. No Keanu Neal.
Yeah.
No Donovan Wilson. This, to me, is just really impressive because we haven't seen this defense do this. And let's go back here over the last 10 years. When you had a key member like a Sean Lee go down, then everything would just fall down. And if you lost a key piece, then just everything would fall down. And it's a testament, one, to the players, because they're ready to go. And you guys are former players. And so people use that old adage all the time, next man up. To watch guys actually go step up, do their jobs, that's impressive. And then I come back to coaching. Danny, you've been preaching Dan Quinn from the beginning. Dan Quinn, and I go back to just everybody from George Edwards, the linebacker coach, Joe Witt over there with the DBs. And
Al Harris.
Eight up front. I mean, with the D-line, I mean, what they're all doing. I mean, the coaching job that is going on here for the Dallas Cowboys, to me, is very impressive because you went up against a 3-0 football team that came out there punching. Okay, it was a fight, man. Carolina came out there fighting.
Yeah, they were striking.
That was my initial thoughts.
I will say this: they were hitting hard, all right.
Yeah.
But they was hitting hard after 13, 14-yard gains. All right, so yeah, they came out to try to punish you and make a statement as far as we're going to be physical with you, but from the beginning of the game, first snap, when Ezekiel Elliott grabbed the ball and ran through the face mask of the defensive tackle, ran through the face mask of the linebacker, we knew exactly what type of game it was going to be. All right, we gained yards pretty much on every snap of the game. Ezekiel Elliott came out, offensive line dominated. This dude was 7-8 yards a carry. Tony Pollard come in, get the same thing. We dominated these guys, and this was the number one defense overall in the NFL, passing and rushing. And we came out there and pretty much did whatever we wanted to these guys.
Yeah, and on the defensive side of the ball for us, I mean, talk about depth. I mean, we got so much depth out there. Newy, you just talked about it. The missing pieces along the defensive line, missing pieces in the secondary, and these guys still played at an extremely high level. Like, look at Osa Odigizua, I think his name is. I didn't want to butcher it, but I think it's Odigizua. He was in there getting pressure consistently. And there's no Neville Gallimore, no Tristan Hill in there. And then you go on the edges. Look at the edges. Go ahead. What you about to say?
Just piggybacking on what you said, I remember when Neville Gallimore got hurt in that preseason game. Like,
what are we going to do?
Who did that?
I said, I was for sure like, man, what are we going to do?
Because I'm not even going to speak to how good the defense is playing. That's why I just went straight to offense because I already know.
No, I literally looked at it and said, here's a problem. And he was playing so well at camp. When I was out there, you could see, you could definitely see when we talked before about these second-year guys, the Trevon Diggs making an improvement, C.D. Lamb making an improvement, Sean McEwen out there, the tight end making an improvement.
Terrence Steele.
So you saw guys, and Gallimore was probably right up there with C.D. and in terms of where you saw them just growing, he was probably right there, just in Diggs, where you just said, man, really making a difference. And we've seen what CD and Diggs have been able to do. And I'm telling you right now, Gallimore was on that track of what he was doing. So when he gets back, man, that's kind of the interesting thing about how Dan Quinn incorporates these guys. What could they be in November, December? I mean, you guys can speak to this in terms of where teams are, and we've talked before about that 11-game stretch they're going to go through, 11 games in a row, and then just a 17-game schedule. This Cowboys defense can improve. And
then look at, and we go back to the depth part about it. Look at the secondary, the free agents that we brought in there. I'm thinking, okay, KZ, he'll be a solid contributor out there. J-Ron Curse, this is a guy who I'm thinking, okay, we picked him up for the low, whatever they got him for in free agency. And I'm thinking this guy, in Detroit, he was a special teams player. That's all pretty much he was, maybe plug in here and there. And I thought he was going to have that same value here. I thought he was going to be a core special teamer. If somebody went down, he might get kind of like similar to 23. What was his safety we had here? 23. What was his name? Anyways, I thought he was going to be similar to that, being a core special teamer. This guy has come out, and he's proven that he belongs in the starting conversation. I mean, he's going out there locking tight ends up, and he's playing great in the run game consistently. This guy has not given up any big plays out there. J-Ron Curse and this whole defense, whatever Dan Quinn got going on with this defense, those guys are flying around the football. We got depth pieces all over the place. And look, if we're continuing to do that, we're going to get healthy as the season progresses. So right now, I mean, Dan Quinn, Danny, you were right about it. I got to give you your kudos. You was right about it.
And to speak to Curse, I think that's also a testament to the coaches, because you see him being put in positions to make plays, right? I think if you see him playing probably deep middle for the entire game, then you will see some stuff where you're like, I don't think that this is the guy that should be back there. But every time you see him, he's in a position to do what he does on special teams for the most part. Yeah. Fill a gap, make a tackle, or just line up on your man and cover him. And he's out there making those plays consistently. And I think across the board, you see people being put in position to make plays. Michael Parsons, when you see 3rd and long, he's going down there to rush the passer.
Yeah, right? He's getting after it.
So as we dive more into this here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com, who do you give the credit for recognizing not only what Mike Nolan did last year was just not a bad job, but didn't put people in the right positions, but getting it right with Dan Quinn. And we'd spoken before here on the show that, okay, if you bring in Dan Quinn, that's one thing. Bring in the people that he knows.
Yeah,
they can help
tools.
him. Right, help him. So who do you give that credit to? Is that Jerry and Steven? Is that McCarthy? I mean, where do you go when you start to dive up and look into the credit for that?
It'll sound like I'm bashing the guy, but I can't give it to McCarthy because he's the one who brought in Nolan. And I think that if he had the option, he probably would have gave the guy another shot. Yeah. All right. So I think that somebody went over his head a little bit, maybe Jerry, maybe Steven, maybe a little bit of Will as well, and said, hey, I think that what works best for the players that we have is to find somebody that runs a 4-3. That's what they started at. And then they were looking at Atlanta and saying, this guy's probably going to be available because Atlanta was having a horrible season. Yeah. Well, let's wait and see if this is the guy that we can get. And thankfully, he did become available. I'm not even sure who the second option would have been. So I had no plan B. So I'm going to say that it was Jerry, Steven, with some Will in there as well.
Yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to those three, especially Will, bringing those guys in. Because if we look at it, the Cowboys have always gotten bashed for bargain hunting at the safety position. We always figured, oh, man, they don't never want to spend no money at the safety position. We're never going to get a playmaker back there to fill that role with the least amount of money we're spending there. And what does he do? He brings in a Keanu Neal. They bring in a KZ. They bring in a Jaron Curse out there. And these guys are all kind of coming in for a bargain. I mean, Keanu Neal went for a little bit more, but the rest of these guys are bargains, and it's proven dividends for this team. They went out there, and they're flying around right now.
This is when you go to the outlet store and you find those Jordans at Ross.
He just came up
on
old
concourse.
Yeah, he just came up on
the Thursday truck just came. They unloaded it. You happened to be there at the right time, and they put some Jordans out there at Ross. I'll take them. Mm-hmm. I'll take those. And they did go bargain hunting, but they ended up getting some quality deals after so many years of missing. I mean, last year was nothing but misses.
Oh yeah.
By them from a defensive standpoint and even from an offensive standpoint. Watching Cam Irvin,
we all knew what I was going to happen going into that one.
Yeah.
Credit to the defense for getting the 5 sacks, but literally the thing that I just keep saying to myself, and David Tepper is the owner of the Carolina Panthers. Matt Rule is the head coach, and he's really the GM too. If I'm David Tepper, I'm like, guys, what was he doing on the roster? Why am I writing him a check? Because if it's one thing we've seen, the highlight of his career was the day he was drafted in the first round. It ain't been no highlight since, man. He's been a disappointment from the time he was in Cleveland. Everywhere he goes, he's a disappointment. So the Cowboys have told you, you know what? Thanks, no thanks. We don't want you. Okay, remember, they lost the left and right tackles out here. So Cam Irving was here, and they're like, nah, we good. And you not only pick him up, he's out here starting.
Was your starting tackle?
I mean,
when you 3-0, right? So, see, you hide some stuff like that, right?
Wins camouflage
sometimes you sweep some of that stuff under the rug. You say, listen, he's serviceable and we're winning. But then you go up against some guys who have a pass rush. Like I said, they hadn't really been playing teams, right? Saints came in with the COVID stuff going on. Other than that, they didn't play a winning team. Mm-hmm. And then they came in, and now they got some reorganizing to do, right? They got to say, hey, look, we need to look at who's going to be getting attacked moving forward. And you can guarantee there's going to be Cam Irvin.
And we're seeing a great example of how rush and cover work together. I mean, these guys, not all the time were these guys just beating their one-on-one battles, getting back to the quarterback. A lot of those times, Sam Darnold had to hold on to the football. He was back there patting it a lot, checking to see if this guy, he had to go through 3 progressions before our defensive line got there. So that's kudos to the secondary working good, kudos to the D-line as well, because a lot of those times he might have had somebody open. Here comes Randy Gregory. Here comes Osa coming through with a quick sack. So these guys are working great together, and Dan Quinn has these guys moving great because he was camouflaging a lot of that. A lot of the time he thought it was zero coverage. That first pick by Trayvon Diggs, they thought it was zero coverage. He ended up floating into a zone, and Sam Darnold didn't know what to do with it. Threw it right to Trayvon Diggs. So kudos to Dan Quinn. Kudos to those guys. They're flying around.
Speaking of, though, goodness. We got to find a way rushing cover, but rushing in your lanes. Because Sam Darnold I was like, who is this dude? I had to watch Bo Nix the night before go against LSU looking like Johnny Manziel 2.0. And then I come in on Sunday morning getting ready for the game, and all of a sudden we got this dude, Sam Darnold, here leading the league in rushing TDs and got 2 against us. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, come on. Let's figure out a way to handle this, because if we don't, this is going to be something that we continue to see throughout the rest of the season.
And who's the quarterback coming in here next week?
Danny Dimes. And he can run.
He got some wheels now. I was sleeping on Dimes' wheels. He can run a little bit.
So, if we're being nitpicky, I think that's something that we need to get fixed. And we also need to find a way to stop letting our foot off the gas, right? Because one, you killing me on my top 10. Like if we're gonna play from 20 points ahead, then I got no shot, right? Because if we're gonna continue to pull people out of the game because they got back tightness and say that they can still get in and play if they really needed to, he needed to, all right? Because it became too close at the end of the game, and we're not gonna be able to get away with that against some of these better teams that we play down the road.
Also, shout out to Golston.
Yeah, young rookie coming
absolutely.
In. I'm sorry, I'm just full of effusive praise for this defense because after last year's debacle, I wasn't sure if they could because we get you. we get sold so much stuff. Hey, this is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Like, and I'm at that point in time, having covered the team for so long. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. To see what Will McCray has done with this draft, I don't think people understand how good he is at his job. When you think about Micah Parsons, there's no doggone way in the world Micah Parsons should have been the 12th pick in the draft. I mean, think about it. The Cowboys were sitting at 10, and they traded down in the division. Okay, two teams in the division. Okay, they passed on Micah Parsons. You get him at 12, and right now he is the odds-on favorite to be the Rookie of the Year.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Right now, so you get him. You look at Odighizuwa and what he's been able to contribute to this football team right now, taking him in the 3rd round. You see Golston out there, who they had high thoughts in the OTAs and in rookie minicamp, gets hurt at training camp, and this guy gets active, gets out on the field, he's making plays. Just looking at these young players.
Don't forget about Diggs the year before.
And that was where I was getting ready to go next. So you look at the year draft before, where you've got CeeDee Lamb in round 1, you get Diggs in round 2, and then you got Neville Gallimore in round 3, and you're just seeing production from these guys. And when you start to consider the big contracts that you have of a Dak Prescott, of Ezekiel Elliott, of Tyron Smith, the Lel Collins, and all the people who've been paid Zach Martin, you needed to have young players contribute at low costs.
Yeah, and what is this young influx in talent been able to do for the rest of the team? I mean, it's like iron sharpens iron. Everybody else picked their game up. Yeah. Now, Wolf Hunter and Jalen Smith, they didn't have the greatest of games yesterday, but before that, they were playing pretty well. Yeah. And then look at Anthony Brown out there. Trayvon Diggs is balling. Here comes Anthony Brown. He's stepping his game up. He's not getting beat. He's batting balls down as well.
You got
to make that pick. You got to get that pick.
Got to make that big play.
But he's not giving up great play or big plays out there. So he's stepping his game up as well. So this young influx of talent has definitely made this defense better and the older veterans around them better as well.
And as we go to break, I'm just going to say it again. What could they be when they get the pieces back together? Maybe they don't get all the pieces back together because you guys play in the league, and you rarely ever get the team you think you're going to get. Yeah. But they have some pieces coming that could definitely have a dramatic effect on the defense. In terms of an Armstrong, in terms of a Wilson, in terms of a Tank Lawrence. I mean, they're going to get some guys back here. Neville Gallimore. Maybe one day your man Gator Roll appears. Tristan Hill.
Not the Gator Roll.
I mean, I think just wrestling folks down here.
We don't need no penalties, okay?
Let's get our first break in. And maybe fans will apologize to Ezekiel Elliott, because this whole notion of sitting him down and people like Booger McFarland running around on ESPN talking about Tony Paul's the number 1 back. No. Barry Church, Danny McCray, Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge on Hotels.com. By Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Head to AT&T Stadium on Saturday, October 9th to experience Rally Day, presented by SeatGeek. Take a tour of the stadium, play games, get autographs from Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and more. Visit attstadium.com/rallydays for tickets and more information. And that's going into a game with the New York Giants, who are coming to town here. Cowboys in the midst of 3 straight home games. They've won 2. And here come the Giants, who won in New Orleans yesterday.
They did.
So that's this league is always interesting. You're in the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. Barry Church, Newy Scruggs, and Danny McCray with you here. Okay, Ezekiel Elliott, 20 carries, 143 yards, 1 touchdown versus Carolina, who had the number 1 rush D, number 1 overall D yesterday, making a statement. And then you go back to the Philadelphia game on Monday night, 17 carries, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wanted to touch on this since you guys both played in this league. You played Monday night. Then you had to come back on a short week and play Sunday early. So you end late Monday night, play early, and then the team you're going against has 10 days to get ready for the football game. Your thoughts on what Ezekiel Elliott did, having that kind of time frame with a body that's getting beat up and hit and hit?
Absolutely amazing. I think that he started off the season ready to run the ball, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes into that first game, and he's a team player. And he's like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do for the team. But in his back of his mind, he's like, when I get my shot, I'm going to be ready. Mm-hmm. And we've seen ever since that first game, when you hand him the ball, he's been able to make plays. It is very incredible that he was able to come off the game against the Chargers, come off the game against the Eagles where he had 17 carries, 95 yards, and then get in here and play how he played yesterday, which was absolutely amazing. 2016 Zeke, he was that guy. Fast, he looked quick, he was patient, he was protecting the ball. Everything that you expected out of a $90 million guy, that's what you got yesterday.
And you basically, that's what he brings to this team and to this offense. He's a sledgehammer out there. I mean, at the early parts of this game, the first quarter, second quarter, it was always a lot of three yards in a cloud of dust. He was just running through guys. But what a lot of viewers didn't see is that he was always falling forward. When he got in contact with the linebackers, when he got in contact with the defensive ends or defensive alignment out there, he was always falling forward for 2 or 3 yards. And after a while, me being a defender, I know this. After a while, you get to the point where, man, I don't want to tackle this dude no more because it starts to hurt, and you get mad as a safety or a linebacker, like, why is it your D-line? What are y'all doing? We need y'all to stop this guy because you don't want to hit him, as it goes further along in the game. And that's what he's bringing to this offense. If we're able to feed this guy, and look how balanced we were at that stage. We're running the ball well. Dak only passed it, 22 times. He had 180 yards, 4 TDs. But that's the type of offense that I see can be sustainable. That's the type of offense that it's going to be hard for defenses to prepare for. When you can run the ball well, pass the ball well, what are you going to try to take away? Because you can't. As a defensive, you can't take away that run with as good as our offensive line is playing. It sets up the pass extremely well. And Ziggy got back to it. He was pounding guys, running through guys' throats, and that's what you love to see out of your $90 million running back.
And I'll say this: I don't know the exact number, but I know the record is pretty wide from when we don't give Zeke the ball 20 times to when Zeke does get 20 carries. I can guarantee you that we win way more games than we lose when Zeke gets 20 yards versus when he doesn't. And if we continue to do that throughout the year, I think we'll win a lot of games.
Okay, let me piggyback on what you're saying too. So yes, the record is it's a favorable number. Mm-hmm. The favorabilities are definitely high when you give him the ball, but also that lessens the amount of passes you've got Dak Prescott out here slinging. So when Dak is 40 plus, the record is a losing record. So that kind of one leads into the other. So Dak yesterday, 22 attempts throwing the football.
I think he completed 14 of them. Yes. He was super efficient.
And so here's, so Dak threw it 22 times. Zeke ran it 20 himself, plus we know what and Pollard did his part. This is winning football, and it keeps your defense
exactly.
off the field.
That's the biggest point.
And don't you forget, okay, My man Dak had some rush yards yesterday too, man. Zach
looked good.
Yeah, Zach looked good. I mean, Dak looked good running around the corner. He said he was going to try his best to stay on the field by not running as much and being the hero. But when he needed to yesterday,
4th and 2,
yeah, he ran and got them things.
Took off for 20 yards. And Newy, to your point, I mean, to me that's the biggest thing with running the rock right now. It keeps your defense fresh. I mean, we can go back to our success when we had success 2016, 2014. We ran the ball with DeMarco. We ran the ball with Zeke. It kept our defense fresh, and we were able to take the ball away. That's what we're doing now. I mean, that's the formula for success. We run the ball well, have a balanced offense, and then you go out there in the defense. They're leading the league in takeaways right now. I mean, your corner got 5 of them things already, 5 of them interceptions already. So to me, this is a formula for success. It's sustainable. These guys can do it, and hopefully they can keep this same momentum going throughout the year.
How many takeaways did we have yesterday?
2
of them things.
Church?
I thought for sure this was going to be the game where we decide if we can win games without taking the ball away. But Trayvon Diggs, he continuously proves me wrong. This is 2 interceptions. He got 5 in the first 4 games. I don't think I've ever seen a defensive back for the Dallas Cowboys be as productive as this guy is in the first part of the season.
It's because you're too young.
I mean, well, yeah, Everson Walls did his thing. Everson Walls did his thing.
You're a baby.
But 5 in 4 games?
At what point do they stop going at Trayvon
That's
Diggs?
what I was wondering.
Like at what point in the season do teams start saying, "Hey, we're not going that way," like they do Jalen Ramsey? If you're opposite of Jalen Ramsey, you got a long day's work. All right, but if on Jalen Ramsey's side, you're not getting nothing. At what point do you say, "Man, we probably going to Anthony Brown"?
Okay. So let me pull up the tweet from our man Clarence Hill.
The new Browns.
Okay, let's pull up our tweet from our man Clarence Hill.
Ain't nobody saying all that. My man ain't returning punts and doing all that stuff, but he looks damn good.
He does, but prime time, and he affected the game in so many different ways. Like it was.
Now listen, Trayvon Diggs say he got his hand on 14 balls last season. If he could turn all those into turnovers, then he's on
his way.
I was like, boy, you crazy.
He's on his way. He's almost
there. Boy, was I wrong?
I mean, that's good. And the way he's doing it, I mean, if we look at that second interception out there, because the first one, he kind of hid in the. I'll give more credit to Dan Quinn than him on that interception because he kind of hid in the weeds and everything like that, and Sam Darnold threw it right to him. But that second interception he had, that's pure film study right there. I mean, the guy was playing off. He knew the first down marker was only 5 yards, so they're going to have to do something quick to him. And once the snap of the ball happened, he didn't take a step back. He was right there willing for it. He read the quarterback great, broke on it. And the most impressive part about that interception, most DBs, I know I would have done it. I went right through the receiver. Like, oh, there's a pass interference. I'm just trying to bat the ball down. This dude got the skills to go around the receiver, take the ball away from the receiver while he's coming around him without fouling him, and getting the interception for his team. I mean, this dude is making some special plays out there.
Listen, and as you say that, if you looked at that entire game, our cornerbacks, they saw something on film that said, "Hey, we're going to play flat-footed and break on these routes." Because the one that AB he kind of got beat over the top on, he was sitting flat-footed, and they finally saw it, and then they ran a double move. So I was like, "Yeah, nobody's worried about that AB. All right? Y'all saw on film that Sam Darnold is going to throw these short routes, and they played that thing short the whole night.
Yep.
And Trayvon Diggs got 2 picks. AB almost got 1.
He should have had one himself.
So like, it goes back to coaching, right? They have these guys dialed in, locked in. The coaches are seeing it, the players are seeing it, and they're able to put what they see on film and take that to the field, and they're making plays.
This game was definitely about halftime adjustments because going in the first half, I mean, it was nip and tuck. They were battling. I mean, we got a couple favorable calls out there because that fumble from my boy Schultz, that was a pure fumble. He got stuck.
Which one?
Yeah, it was a rough day for my boy. I mean, fantasy-wise, he did all right, but that was a fumble for sure by Schultz out there. So we got a couple favorable calls, but then you come out to the second half. And the adjustments made by Quinn, by Joe Whitt, by those guys, they won that battle over Coach Brady and all those guys over there. They won that battle because when we came out to that second half, that I believe was the turning point. When Carolina came out, I think they got 1 first down. Maybe even they might have went 3 and out after that. And the Cowboys got the ball back and went straight down the field and scored to make it. I think it was a 21-14 at that time. Yeah,
20 to 14.
20 to 14 at that time. That was the turning point because we never seen again what Sam Darnold and that offense was able to do. We had them flustered the entire time. So shouts out once again to Dan Quinn. Those halftime adjustments definitely made a difference.
Baby, turn your hat backwards, baby. Turn your hat backwards. Leave it like that, man. You was cooking, dialing it up, man. Game after game after game. There's not been a game that we went into so far this season, 4 games in, where we say, hey, man, Dan Quinn got outcoached.
Right.
Like we've gone into each game and said, you know what? He gave us a chance.
He did
to make
each
some
and every
plays.
time.
Right.
And we definitely got to give some kudos to Kellen Moore. Did you was that fourth down or third down when they did that Zeke option?
Oh yeah,
Man,
that was a nice
in the
play.
past, that would have been a 5-yard hitch to a 5-yard hitch to CD out there or something reverse or something like that. But he's cooking right now because that play. You got to have some cojones to pull that off, man. That man grabbed that thing. Let me get the little option in there. That was smooth.
Kellen Moore has definitely grown into the job. So the tweet Clarence Hill put out is 22 hours ago. It says, Trayvon Diggs is the new prime time. Then I hit him back. I said, drunk tweet.
Come on now. I mean, look, the band's balling out.
And then, so on a TV show last night, Jacques and I, we're like, okay, let's just bring up Clarence. What Clarence had to say. And then Clarence gonna call me. Now, this is just so Clarence. He knows I'm on TV at the time. He gonna call. Phone sitting there. I'm standing right here and I can see the phone ringing. I'm like, it's Clarence. So all out of pocket. Then he's gonna tweet at me. He said, I expected more from you, Newy Scruggs. The new prime time doesn't mean he's on the level of the old prime time. You all need to stop being so literal. As far as the Cowboys are concerned, he is the closest thing to prime as a playmaking quarterback since prime left, hence the new prime.
Well, it sounds the same.
Exactly. Give him a new nickname.
You call him new prime and said that based off the old prime, he looks like the new prime.
The new version.
You literally are saying exactly what
that's like calling somebody Megatron or something. Like, yeah, come on now. You can't be giving out nicknames like that.
You could tell me he has prime qualities.
Boom. But you don't just say this is prime 2.0.
I mean, you call it Revis
that
Island.
Makes it seem that makes it seem like the new version is better. No.
Well, it produced a Twitter chain of reactions and people like, well, considering what Clarence said, he's the best corner since prime. And I'm just sitting to myself saying, okay. I love because I don't want anyone to interpret that I don't love what Diggs is doing. Okay, I go back to 2 years ago when I had him slotted in there as the guy that they needed to draft in the first round.
You called it second contract.
So I love the player, but as Bill Parcells used to say, let's put the anointing oil away. Let these players go prove this.
Yeah.
To be a guy, even considered someone like prime, you need time. Okay, time and trust. What's one thing you trust a Jalen Ramsey? Jalen Ramsey has done this for years now, and you played with Jalen Ramsey.
They got to move him to nickel because they were so scared to throw to him on the outside.
And you get that three-way. Trust comes three ways: through time, consistency, and proof. Trayvon is showing us early in his career that he can be this guy, but make a Pro Bowl, make an All-Pro team, and then do it again. That's when you start getting your name in those types of conversations. Yeah. I think people forget that when Terrence Newman was healthy, Terrence Newman was a good corner.
He was a dog.
He was a good football player
dog,
here.
Without a doubt.
While Byron Jones did not take the ball away, when Byron Jones finally got in a position where Chris Richard knew he could make some play, he helped this football team.
Without a doubt. Nobody was getting over 100 on Byron.
So the qualities of Trey Diggs tell you he could be a really good football player. Let's not call him prime yet. And you guys were young, but I remember prime at Florida State. I remember prime at Florida State, Death Valley, when they're taking on Clemson and Danny Ford calls for a punt return and Deion's over there on the sideline and his number 2 talking about, I'm taking it back. Because one of my high school teammates was on his visit. He was on a recruiting visit. Prime caught that punt, took it to the house. Talked it, did it. They ended up winning the game. And then my boy was in the locker room afterwards. And Danny Ford kicked them all out. All the recruits, get out. I mean, he just chewed his team up and down. I mean, Prime was special.
He is. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason, man.
He was a different kind of guy. And I don't want to put that on Diggs just yet.
It's a lot of pressure.
Right. What we're seeing, though, is the Cowboys got it right.
Oh, without a doubt.
The Cowboys got it right, and he's got these qualities to be a good football player. And when you talk about a Dak and a Zeke, the way a mindset that you need to play at this high level, a Tank Lawrence, he's showing you he's falling in line with those guys, that he's got that kind of mentality.
Almost ruined that dude out there with Nolan.
Nolan almost
had
close.
That man out there looking.
It was close.
You let the wrong people get their hands on the tool. What do you say? He need his tools. You let the wrong man get his hand on your tools, man. And all of a sudden, dude look like a totally different player. And you got Nolan for 3 years versus having what you got now. Then all of a sudden, you might not be saying anything good about this.
This is true.
All right, let's take our final break.
All right.
And when we come back here,
I got a question to ask y'all when we get back, too.
More issues with your old squad. Down there in Jacksonville today.
Duval! What is going down in Duval, man?
Barry Church, Danny McCray, Newy Scruggs. This is Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Organic pumpkin smoothies are back at Smoothie King with at least 13 grams of protein each and 5 options to choose from. It's easy to find a favorite to help you reach your goals, like the new Keto Champ Pumpkin, packed with a whopping 23 grams of protein and 9 net carbs. It's a quick and nutritious meal on the go. So order online or through the app for pickup or delivery. And power up with pumpkin and protein. Official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Check out the new Miller Lighthouse located outside AT&T Stadium where Dallas Cowboys game day traditions are born. Enjoy yard games, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders performances, beer gardens, and more. Game ticket required. Can I say that one more time? Game ticket required. For more information, visit attstadium.com/Miller Lighthouse.
You said people going to be trying to get in there without a game ticket? I'm trying to get to the Lighthouse.
Hey, they just try to do the little pregame.
I'm just trying to get to the Lighthouse, man. Can I get to the Lighthouse?
All right.
Got to have a ticket playoff.
I will give you the example. You have people who go over to Texas Live for the game.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not going to the Cowboys game, so they want to slide, keep on their little enjoyment and slide on over to the Middle Lighthouse. No country, mon frere.
How my boy Matumbo did it.
Because without it, I mean, if this was just open to any and everybody, because there's a lot of folks who, they want to be a part of the atmosphere, they want to go tailgate, but they don't have a ticket for the game. We're rolling up all in there. So, hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Miller Lighthouse be overrun.
Hey, they must be smacking out there,
especially with us winning.
Yeah. Everything's good when you're winning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody wants to be around it. So my best friend works over Texas Live, and he's like, he's from Houston. He's like, man, you Cowboy fans. Your people up here.
Your people.
Hey, man, act right.
The Lighthouse was popping after the game, though. We walked by it, boy. It was popping.
It was jumping out there, CB.
Oh, my God, was it jumping. They had a DJ out there. It was popping.
I was going to say, Chris, is it like the old corral back at Texas Stadium?
Yeah, they have the DJ. They got the games. I think but it's not covered. So it's like, they have like covered areas, but it's not like a tent like the old corral.
Yeah,
I can only imagine leaving those games as a player now because I used to hate it, especially when you winning. Everybody's staying for the whole game. Traffic, man, it takes a while to get up out of there. So I can only imagine what it is right now. Got to take you at least 2 hours to get to the crib.
Stick around and hang out, talk
to
the media.
No, sir.
No.
We about it there. We're about it there. Victory Monday.
Yeah, so I'm dating myself, but back in the day, Texas Stadium, after the game, go ahead and go over to the corral, the Cowboy Corral. There would be players there hanging out, but that was the old thing. And then when I worked in Los Angeles, the Forum Club after the game.
It was jumping.
Let me ask you this,
Look at him, reminiscing.
What had the best atmosphere or the better atmosphere? Texas Stadium or this new AT&T? Because I never got to play in Texas Stadium. So what's the new? Is it the same atmosphere? Is one better than the other?
For me, it's definitely what's going on now because it's Today, they have basically all of these stadiums are doing what Jerry Jones has done. It's spawned this. And so what they've been able to do in their own way is really maximize. There's more clubs and more places to do, and then there's also tiers of it, you know. So you got your big money
up top,
right over here, right. So they've done an outstanding job of making sure you where you need to be, where you can afford to be, and doing your thing. So I would definitely say here, and it's just all the amenities, all the luxury of what they've done at this stadium, but that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. I mean, the old Forum Club, you look at it now, what a cramped dump that was compared to what they're doing out there at Staples now. So, but that's what you're supposed to do is improve the experience, and along the way in improving the experience, all of these folks building these stadiums have been smart enough to realize that guess what? You know what? There's different levels of entertainment and experience that people want. It's kind of like some people like to go to their local dive bar and just do it there. Some people may the old Century Club back in L.A. Man, when the old Century Club when you went over there, and so
they got Louis Vuitton store up in AT&T Stadium now.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
I mean, so that's which is the beauty of it. They have maximized the type of level of entertainment that you can have. Rangers, they did that at their new ballpark. There's a speakeasy little restaurant my kid got to go. He had some free tickets from the job, and they went there behind home plate. And then there's a whole little restaurant down here that everybody can't get to. So they sat there and they had a good job. And so they've got all these different places so you can have your entertainment and fun at the Rangers game. And they've kind of maximized it opposed to what your type of ticket prices you have, entertainment you can get. So that's smart.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cowboys game ticket prices are going up. Y'all better lock y'all tickets in early.
Especially if they winning like this.
Yeah, because coming to bye week, we might have one loss. All right? Yeah. And so you come out of bye week with just one loss, you got some stuff coming. Shout out to Jerry, man, because he going to cash in on that.
If anybody going to cash in, you know who's going to cash in.
I got hit with the ticket request last week, and I told the person, I said, look, if you think, once again, people trying to find discounts, I'm like, okay, let me help you out. It's the Dallas Cowboys. There are no discounts.
What you tell us, man? What's your credit card number? Let me get that credit card number.
But then I just tried to tell. I said, look, there's only one way you're going to find discounts on Cowboy tickets. Been doing this for a minute. Since the stadium opened, this is how it works. The only way you'll find them is it's the end of the season and they're a losing team. That's the only way you're going to get them. Like last year. All right, 6-10 team, you're not good. Come December, people are giving up their tickets. I said, if they're competing, then no way. You're not giving them up. Because it is the place to be. And every town has that team. In St. Louis, it's the Cardinals. You want to go to the Cardinal game. All right? L.A., you want to go to the Laker game. Here, you want to go to the Cowboy game. And when they're winning, you don't get the ticket because everybody wants to go.
Yeah,
everyone wants to go. And that's what I said. So if you're looking at, I just want to go on a cheap ticket, you're not. And then I said, here's the other one. I said, this is probably your best way to go to the game economically. Go, wait till kickoff, find some scalpers. I said, because at that point in time, if you're holding tickets and you're a scalper, you want to get rid of them because they're just going down. And I said, but that involves a risk. So if you want to be there with your kid,
just go ahead and buy a ticket online.
Log on to SeatGeek and get you one of them standing room only tickets.
Yeah, okay. You in there.
Get you one of the standing room only.
And see, here's the thing. Before you come to me, you should have done that already.
Yeah.
But then again, I said, because they asked about that, should I go stand? I was like, okay, let me show you how this works. When the doors open, you need to be there first. You need to go get your spot.
4 hours of standing. That's long.
Get your standing room only ticket and head on over to the Miller Lighthouse. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and get lit at the Miller Lighthouse. Because they got a TV screen out there for you. That's all you're going to see anyways.
But this person wanted to take their child, so they wanted to see. So I said, if you're going to go, you better go.
It's a long time standing up.
And then don't move. Go to the bathroom. Because you ain't going to have no seat when you get back.
Right. And so I just, in my own way, I was trying to say, you're trying to go and save some dollars. It's just not happening. The price is the price.
It's up there. Man, what's going on in Duval? Man, what is going on in Duval?
Hey, man, look, let me tell y'all something. We talked about this on the show.
We did.
How long is Urban Meyer going to make it when he gets to Duval? What if the record is bad? How long before he say he have a health issue or family issue?
We always talk about
that family issue is about to come up.
It's popping up quick.
On my Twitter, it's the #1 thing sports trending.
It's still trending.
Still.
Ooh, Urban Meyer.
That video had 1.6 million views within 30 minutes of somebody posting it.
Man, I'm telling you what.
My man gets backing it up all in the club. Said, bro, you married
at your own bar, though.
At your own bar.
You got to be more careful than that. You got to have security. Like, look, making sure nobody is around me with the cameras out.
How about just don't go do it?
Or just don't do it. I'm talking about you just got off another beatdown. Wasn't a beatdown, but you done lost another game. You 0-4. You know, they played on a Thursday, so you probably got that little weekend off. He was like, you know what? I'm going to go head up to my bar in Ohio State and cut loose a little bit.
Church, you listen, you played a long time. The head coach don't get no time off like that.
He don't
get no time off like that. Where he give his coaches a couple days off, maybe the players get off, but the head coach is there, especially for an 0-4 team, trying to figure out what it is he needs to do. Or how about spending some family time? Because you got many other things to do.
That college job is opening up, man.
He did talk about visiting the grandkids. So I'm just going to keep it clean because when you go search on Twitter, most of the things that are said about Urban aren't very clean. But the New York Post has a headline that says Jaguars coach Urban Meyer goes viral for party photos, videos, and then they show him with this is two different little blondes that are right next to him in his Ohio State jersey with a drink in his hand.
It don't make it look any better because he kind of looks sauced in those pictures. Like you kind of got that glazed over look on him. I'm like,
he got that look like he trying to be play it cool.
Yeah,
even if I am on camera, then I can still got some deniability, plausible. I was trying to move her, out of the way. Nah, bro, you may well just go all in at that point. Go home. Go home. Go home. Do your job, bro.
Well, if you gonna do that, bring the wife with you.
Goodness. Can't let him out. What was he doing up there at Ohio State? Why he had to leave? He got his own bar up there. He don't know how to act on one weekend. This man was up there for a whole season.
Where your boys at this? Where your boys at?
I ain't gonna judge you, Urban.
Don't you have a room? I mean, you Urban Meyer, it's your bar. Don't you have a little room, a little privacy room? And yeah.
He's a man of the people. The people's champ, man. He want to be around the people.
Nah, I feel sorry. Hey, man, that's a tough thing. But, hey, man, you got to do the right thing.
You got to be more careful. You hate to see it.
Yep, you hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
You asked a question you wanted to ask, before we get out of here. You had a question you wanted to ask here, Barry Church?
Oh yeah, so I just real quick. I know it's 1:16 already. So
real ask a question at 1:16.
We can bring it for the next episode. We'll wait till the next episode.
Okay, wait till the next episode.
Yeah. So get CB up out of here.
All right. Hey, look, we covered a lot here. We got into Zeke. We got into the defense. Got into is Trayvon Diggs' new prime time as Clarence Hill Jr. tried to put out there.
No.
Come on, easy, Dad. All right, the ultimate survivor. He is Danny McCray. Tell everybody where they can get their Survivor 41 shirts because the episode 3 is coming up Wednesday on CBS that you're a part of the cast on.
Yep, 7 o'clock. You can order your shirt on my Instagram page at Danny McCray 40. Click the link. They are selling out. But I'll order some more for y'all, man. Don't worry.
Church already has his.
Yeah, I got mine.
Wear it on Wednesday.
I'm gonna wear it on Wednesday. Make sure you get it. It's comfortable, great material. And look,
Newy next.
Newy next. He gotta get his. What's up, Newy?
Okay.
Support black businesses, huh? Yeah. Okay. He support Pembroke. He ain't gonna support my boy.
Trustee.
Did you pay for yours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe. Church sent me a whole case of wine.
12.
That's quick. Okay, so that's quid pro quo. He didn't pay for it. It's quid pro quo.
What you mean? It was a fair exchange.
His wine was worth way more than that.
I hooked my boy up. Hooked him up.
That's his second case of wine he sent me too.
Hooked my boy up, man. Newy, what's up?
I got you.
Online, man.
I didn't even say that.
I got you. Yeah, we'll see.
Good. We all.
Hey, what's your credit card number?
Now you done gave him some fire. You gave him some fire.
I'll bring cash.
We gonna see.
We got to go. Players Lounge. Brought to you by Hotels.com. Here on DallasCowboys.com radio. Goodbye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!